Mike Tomlin was also asked about Calvin Austin and talked about the growth that he has had over the last couple of seasons. Given the snap counts, Brian, it seems pretty clear who the wide receiver 2 is on this team. It seems pretty undisputed.
Yeah, no doubt. And he went out and showed why in his first opportunity to do so. And remember, he didn't get to play at all in the preseason because of that oblique injury. So, it was, I feel like a little bit of, steam was forming for Calvin and what we were seeing from the practices, and then came to a screeching halt because he wasn't healthy. So really encouraging, not just what he did in putting up the numbers, but how he did it. A contested 50-50 ball down the sideline against, a 6-foot corner in Brandon Stevens. It's not like he was picking on another little guy himself. And, he just drawing the PI calls too. It's like George Pickens, sometimes that was his best contribution to games. He wasn't coming down with the pass, but he was getting the flag to advance the ball. So that speaks again to Calvin Austin playing bigger than he is. And I asked him point blank, Donnie, after the game in the locker room, was it a little more satisfying for you to come out and start that way with all the outside chatter about the receiver group? And he just shook his head, but smiled. And that grin said it all. He's like, it was a good win. I'll just say that. It was a good win. I'll keep it short and sweet. So he would have loved to speak his mind a little bit, but I think he's too classy for that.
You expected the Steelers' offense to look rusty, as did I. I don't think we were alone in that either, Brian. So how blown away were you by the offense that was cooked up by Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers?
Well, as I tweeted, Donnie, I think that was the best game that I can recall Arthur Smith dialing up for the Steelers since he's been installed as their OC. I am not trying to take anything away from Aaron Rodgers and what he did. You still have to put the ball out there, put it in a guy's chest, lay it in the breadbasket. He did that effectively on all of those touchdown passes. But every one of them, I think you could argue, was probably a little more scheme-centric than just threading the needle and dropping a dime. Ben Skoranek wide open off the play action. Both guys did their job there. Jonnu Smith with the little pop pass goes in the box score as a touchdown pass, but it effectively a run or a handoff, and he got to the corner. Jaylen Warren wide open. Calvin Austin wide open in the sudden change. Perfect time to call that play. So, that was – it sort of reminds me a little bit of – remember that Super Bowl a couple years ago with the Chiefs beating the Eagles, and it wasn't so much Patrick Mahomes going superhero. It was those whip routes that Andy Reid was calling at the exact right time, and the Eagles couldn't do anything with it. So Arthur Smith was in his bag, and I think the most encouraging thing there is, yes, Aaron Rodgers made the throws, and those two might have some sort of synergy between play caller and quarterback that simply wasn't there last year.